Welcome back to Gamechanger, the podcast that sees every obstacle for an opportunity for growth. Today I have a very special guest here with me. This is my actual first time talking to her, meeting with her, and she is such an amazing soul. Please welcome Isabella.
Hello, hola, encantada. It's nice to finally meet you. I've never met you in my entire life, and I've never talked to you until now.
Yeah, that was like a perfect intro. I'm like, I love a girl that can speak different languages and is just gorgeous. And I mean, look at her, you guys.
Oh, thank you. I think the same thing about you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Well, since it's our first time actually conversing, me personally, and I'm sure our audience as well knows a little bit about you, but me personally, I want to know kind of the background of you, what your brand is, how your travel experiences are, what does that look like for you?
Well, IsabellaLengua was born in Mexico, actually. Was when I started with OnlyFans. And I remember I actually I knew I was going into this career choice, but I remember being abroad, being in Mexico. I was in a very, very, very different state than where I'm at now. I was in a completely different career. My living situation was very different. And the one thing that I knew that I truly loved, and this was just as a whole, even when I was younger, is I loved to travel, and I always kind of knew deep down that I always wanted to experience other parts of the world and not kind of stay in one place.
Yeah.
So little did I know though, when I started OnlyFans, I had no idea what was gonna happen. I was kind of doing it because, for personal reasons, I just wasn't really vibing with the career I was doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to try something different. And actually it was a friend of mine who introduced me to the platform, and she was like, you should try it. And I was like, okay. So I did, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. And when I talked to another creator, she was like, what if you did language and travel? Because that's kind of your vibe anyway. You love to go to Mexico. I went to Mexico a lot. I have a lot of friends that live there. My family's from there. So I was like, yeah, I could do that. And it's so funny because at the time that she said that, I was quite literally taking Spanish really seriously. I was taking these little classes that my friend was having. We would just FaceTime and she would teach me I wanted to, because I spoke Spanish growing up, but I never really learned it properly.
Yeah. We learn a couple words in school.
Exactly. And then with my grandma and my grandparents speaking to me, when I was younger, it's so funny. When you're younger, your brain is like a sponge. And then when you get older, you kind of harden up and it's hard to learn other things. But that's why I kind of was like, you know what, I need to really learn Spanish. It's the second most spoken language in the entire world.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it does such a disservice to me because it's such a big part of who I am.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's when it kind of just was like, okay, yeah, I'll just start with language and let's see where it goes. And then I remember, okay, so that was in November. December was when I officially started with OnlyFans, and then February is my birthday, so I always dreamed of going to Europe, and I always wanted to go to Spain. I always had this I think it was Ibiza was everyone that thinks of Spain thinks of Ibiza, which is such a small part of Spain. It's very beautiful, but it's such a Spain is so much more. I mean, you have the northern part, the southern part, and then you have Madrid, which is the center.
Where's Barcelona?
Barcelona's north, so it's next to France.
Okay.
But northeast. But I always wanted to go to Spain, so I went there for my birthday by myself. I've never traveled across ocean like that. I never been to Europe, and I remember I was like, I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I'm gonna go for my birthday. I don't even care if I do it alone.
Yeah.
So I went, and it changed my life. And I ended up missing my flight back home. Missing my flight. And yeah, I just met all these people, and I fell in love with the country. I made friends. I was there for 3 weeks. And everyone that I met was like, you should just stay. Like, you should just stay here. And I was like, well, I have like all my stuff at home, and like my family's there.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, let's do it. So funny enough, I actually was fired from my other job because I was still doing both jobs.
Yeah.
I was fired from the other one, and I was like, oh, this is a side, babe. Like, I'm getting out of here.
That's like serendipitous. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They always say, like, whenever you get fired, it's like actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm dipping. So I gave myself, I remember the place I was living at, I had 4 months left on my lease. And I was like, okay, I'm going to move across the world in 4 months. And so I sold my car, I sold my furniture, I got rid of like basically all of my clothes. And
I'm inspired. I'm like loving hearing you talk right now. Tell me more.
And I remember my mother and I had a trip to Paris planned that was actually from 2020, but it got pushed back.
Right.
So I had this crazy plan where I was going to take a flight from Paris to Madrid and look for an apartment in a week. And everyone that I told that to was like,
yeah, right.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're insane.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever. So my mom and I went to Paris, and then after that, I went to Madrid, and I found an apartment in 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
See, look at that.
Yeah, it was like a sign.
Yeah.
I am very big on like universal signs, so I took it, and then from there on, I went back here, and that's when I got rid of everything and I moved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, wow. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're here in America.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have met you officially, but yes, like that's insane. So how long? So you were out there just for the 3 weeks, or now do you live there full time, or
Well,
are you gonna go back?
I am going back. I'm scheduled to go back in August.
Okay.
There are these things called visas, though, which are a pain in the ass. My visa was expired because I was on a student visa. And the thing about, especially just foreigners in general, especially with Europe and the US, from my knowledge, is very difficult. Visas anywhere are just very hard.
Yeah.
But with Europe, like with my lease, with my apartment there, this is where I was kind of running into problems. But a couple months back, I was looking for another apartment, and out there you need a padrón and a visa. A padrón is like it's basically like it's like a document that states that you live in this city. It's
Okay.
like a very important document that you need. And then the visa shows what you're doing in this country. So you have student visa, you have a golden visa, you have digital nomad visa. So everything has different requirements.
Yeah.
The student visa is obviously the easiest one, but the only thing you have to do is you have to go to school.
Yeah.
You have to be enrolled in like a university.
Yeah.
So when my classes were done, and my lease was up, that was when I started running into problems. They were like, well, your visa's expired. And I was like, yeah, I know. And they were like,
You're not getting back in.
you can't live here. And
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? You live here. So then I got my lawyer, Paula. Oh, I love Paula. Paula, yeah. She helped me a lot, but she basically told me, she was like, you have options, but you probably need to go back to your country. And I was like, oh my God.
She put your ass right back on the boat.
Yeah, and she was like, yeah, she really did though. And I was like, oh my God. And she was like, I know it's like very, I'm gonna be real, I cried a lot. And
sure.
I was very upset. And then, of course, I made like a whole life there. Like I have friends there now. I feel like I have more friends there than I do here. So
honestly, I don't blame you. Like girls here are so hard to get along with.
I think Americans in general, we have such a cliquey culture.
Yeah.
It's so cliquey here. Whereas there, everyone will hug you and kiss you and they don't even like know who you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was one thing that Spain gave me, was my warmth back. Because when I arrived there, I was like this cold, hard, like depressed Chicago girl.
Yeah.
And I remember I went on this date with this guy and he was like, I will never forget this. He told me, he was like, I imagine the women in Chicago are like the buildings, tall and beautiful, but very, very cold. And I was like,
what's his name? Where is he at? Because that's not true. I mean, it is true to an extent because, yeah, like, I know a couple, but
I'm pretty sure that lasted like 2 dates. Yeah. He was nice.
Well, guess what? We'll get to more interesting.
We have a wheel.
We have a wheel
gosh.
Here. I know you guys have been staring at this, probably like, what is this? But yeah, one of them is about, some of your date stories, but that is just so cold. So what'd you say to him? Like, I'm interested, like, what was your reaction to that?
I was like, well, it gets warm in the summer.
He said the playpen opens up. And
we have a lake
and
it gets pretty hot, like in the summertime.
We get loosened up a little bit.
Yeah, we loosen up a lot. But no, I think Spain gave me warmth back, but it did give me a sense of pride and where I come from, because we are, as much as we say like, the culture here is this or that, like Chicago is worldwide like such a badass city. It really is. And people look at it as like, damn, that's like really cool. Like I feel like New York, Chicago, and Miami. And which means do you love me in Italian? Did you know that?
Really?
Miami, yeah. Miami. Do you love me?
Well, it's like te amo.
Mm-hmm. Amor
Miami.
is the verb, amar. So it's very similar to Italian, but in Italian, Miami is do you love me?
I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
How many languages do you speak, or do
fluently? I can speak Spanish and English. I'm not a polyglot, but that's the goal.
Okay.
I'd like to be a polyglot.
Polyglot. Can you inform our audience on what a polyglot is?
A polyglot is someone that can speak 4 or more languages fluently. So there's a lot of them. There's a lot of those exist in Europe.
I was gonna say like the Portuguese, the French, like I feel
Italian,
and then obviously Spanish and English.
And of course you have Northern Europe, so you have Dutch, you have German, Eastern. Well, German is still part of Europe, and then you have Russian, Ukrainian, like it's a whole lot of different.
There is a lot of languages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least you have 2 under your belt. You're ahead of a lot of women here. I met one of my clients, she's this 55-something-year-old lady, and she was just like, the one thing and piece of advice that I can give you is like once you hit a certain age, men do not look at you other than like, what else do you have for me? What else can you do? Is there any hidden talents? And if you speak more than one language or like are learning a different language that no one else speaks, she's like, learn how to speak French, learn how to speak Chinese, Japanese, and she's like, you will automatically be 10 times hotter to the men that are older.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, okay, is that true?
I think so. I mean, I haven't really dated since I've been back. Well, that's not true. But like, I found out that like being in Europe and going in the scene there, like Spanish was it's just a way to connect. Like if you don't speak a language, there is a barrier, not only linguistically, but also like there's certain sayings and certain senses of humor that you just don't get. Like, tienes un flores en el culo. Do you know what that means? It means you have flowers in your ass. That's a saying that means you're lucky.
Oh. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of
Like,
things.
can you imagine hearing that and being like, my butt? Like, I have flowers in my butt?
I will say this though, there is a thing about women that speak Spanish that no matter what you say, it sounds sexy. So say, like, I invite you to say something very raunchy right now, whatever it is, in Spanish, and we're gonna see if it sounds beautiful. Like, do you have anything raunchy that you can say? And I bet you it's gonna sound 10 times better just because it was said
I do
in
have
Spanish.
something really raunchy that I was like very taken back by when I heard it. It wasn't in a bad, like the setting wasn't as bad as what I'm about to say, but comeme la polla. Do you know what? Oh my God, that's so bad. Do you know what polla means?
Write in the comments, what does it mean?
So it basically means eat my dick.
Oh.
It's kind of an insult though. It's not like it's like an insult. Like it basically means like.
Yeah, like fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But it sounds pretty. You see what I mean? It's like no matter what is said in Spanish or another language, it just sounds so beautiful.
Yeah, or mierda, which is, I mean, I'm swearing on camera now, so I hope this is okay.
I only know like.
I don't want to get shut down.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the game. All right. Well, yeah. Note taken. Exactly.
Just keep that in mind.
Keep that
if
in
you
mind.
ever hear that, just run. Just walk the other way.
Yeah. All right. I'll keep that in my back pocket for next time I go over to overseas. Okay. While you guys have been staring at this beautiful, beautiful spin wheel, we have all sorts of things on here to get to know Isabella and your girl over here as well. So we're both gonna spin.
Okay.
I will spin first for you since you are my guest. That was a poor spin. Let's give that another try. Ooh.
Oh,
there you
of
go.
course. Perfect.
Worst date story. That was probably just saying that.
Worst date story. Wow, there's so many. No, I had some really good dates, but I think the worst date I was ever on, is this like in general or do you want it to be abroad? Yeah, that's probably.
It's in general. It could be whatever you want. This is Gamechanger. Whatever you want. It could be general, broad. Obviously, don't say anyone's name if you. Yeah.
No. Yeah, we don't talk anymore.
Right.
He's gone. I went on a date with a man. He was French, and right off the bat, it was. I really just wanted to get to know people when I moved, and so another great way to do that is dating apps, obviously. I mean, you don't really know anyone. I didn't really know anyone. So I went on this date with this French man, gorgeous, very, very handsome man. He got very drunk, like very quickly. And I like to drink alcohol, but I definitely am in a stage in my life right now where I don't like to get super drunk, especially on a first date.
Yeah.
So we were having a good time, and we went to a couple different places, but he was drinking a lot. And towards the end of the day, he was like, "What's it gonna take for me to get you out of your clothes?" And I was like, I think you're very handsome, but I don't know if I'm really feeling this. And I don't really speak French, and like I don't really vibe with that like right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just a very like
Icky.
It was just icky. There was no conversation. There was no like depth to him. It was very just like, oh, you're attractive, I'm attractive, let's like just hook up, which that's very prevalent there. It's a very open dating scene in Europe, I noticed. He probably had a girlfriend and I didn't even know about it, so.
Probably.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just the dynamic nowadays, regardless.
Yeah, even here, yeah. So that was probably the one that sticks out to me the most. That was like, that was kind of a waste of time.
Right.
Like I went on other dates that actually like taught me something and like substance, and you know, regardless of if it like didn't work out or not, like you always want to learn from someone, whether it's like good or bad, hopefully good.
Yeah.
But with him, I was just I was so not into him, and he was so handsome too.
You're like, why are you drinking so much? Is there something wrong with me?
He was just like,
liquid courage right now?
Yeah, he needed liquid courage for some reason.
Yeah, I don't like that. In general, like men should not be the ones that are drinking too much. Like unfortunately, it sometimes needs to be the woman. Most of the time needs to be the woman. I agree.
They need to like take control and like have a nice stable ground for us while we like have fun.
Yeah.
But no, it was very it was not very attractive for me.
Well, men, do better.
Yes.
Please. Let your girl get fucked up,
Yeah, don't get super drunk on first date, please.
Yeah. All right, well that wasn't too bad. It wasn't like he was, you know, like trying to shove you in the back of a car or something.
No, oh my God, no. I am not afraid to hit someone, so I would have done that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well you can go ahead and spin the wheel. Let's see what I get. Hopefully nothing too crazy. Ooh.
Favorite cultural custom.
Favorite cultural custom.
Oh, I love that.
Honestly, well, you're more seasoned than I am traveling overseas and everything. I actually have not ever been over that way.
You should go.
Yeah, I know I need to. I love just like Middle Eastern culture completely.
Okay.
I have a background of being Filipino. I'm not like completely in.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But they live the longest, they're the healthiest. They are just, I feel like the most like family oriented kind of culture.
Yes.
I don't know too much. I haven't been over there yet, but from what
the
I
Philippines
hear, what I know,
is a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I just like the food even.
Yeah, the food
just
is great.
Eating off the land, not just walking. Like you have 80-year-olds like walking the cobblestone and just not even worrying about anything in life. Just healthy, moving. Like that's what I want to be. I want to be 80, being able to like walk up and down hills and like eating fruits and veggies and just living a simple life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you see, it's so interesting when you see those older people and they're like very old, but they're still so put together. Like they got the blowout, they got the outfit, and it's like they are still rocking it.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do when we're older. Yeah.
We'll move over there. I'm interested to hear yours though, since you have been out. Like, what is your favorite culture, I guess?
Oh, I don't know if I have a favorite culture, but I mean, I love. The reason why I moved to Spain in general was I felt very connected to the culture. They do not work as hard as Americans. And that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. They also live very long. They eat very fresh food. So the Mediterranean diet is like olive oil, fish, really good bread, carne, which is meat, but the meat is not like processed or has any like additives in it. And they also do a lot of walking, lots of walking. You really don't need a car when you're there. One thing that I do love about being in Spain, I would say that it's more prevalent in that country than the rest of Europe is their importance on rest. So they have siesta, which is around like the middle of the day. And it's so interesting because having friends there, they are very much like they go to work and then they come home and then they go out. But when they come home, like they're very like, I'm gonna take a nap. Like I'll call you in like a couple hours. Like I'm gonna take my nap because I need to rest. And it's very much like, I need to rest.
Yeah.
Like it's like, this is what we do. Like
Yeah.
there's no like, I feel like here in America especially, and in other parts of the world, like Asian culture is also very fast paced, such as like China or Japan or Korea. But we kind of like have this, we feel bad about it. Like I don't know, I feel like when I'm here, it's always like, I think I'm just gonna stay home and like relax and like, you feel like guilty. There's like a guilt around it for resting when in reality, like, especially in a creative field, like what we are both in, creative people need to rest because that's kind of when you start to think and you start to process things in a better, healthier way. Whereas like constantly pumping out like results, it's really not good for you.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree, honestly. I'm trying to practice that myself, just slowing down and being uncomfortable with like having a full 24 hours on my couch and binge watching whatever I need to, or just staring out my window.
Yeah, or like checking your phone and you have all the notifications and it's like, I'm gonna like answer this when like I'm ready. Whereas like I feel like a lot of people, especially prevalent in America, they're very like, they just keep going and going and going. And then we wonder why like people are having like nervous breakdowns at work, or like they are acting a certain way, or they're having struggles with like their mental and things like that. Yeah.
It's all like one-upping each other here. Like, okay, you have this, but I could do that better. Or you have that, or I want to get that now. How do I get there? I'm going to do everything I can to get there. But it's like, just slow down and enjoy life for a second.
You don't have to have like the latest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that, I know, I agree. I think it's always been like kind of keeping up with the Joneses here, where it's like, oh, I want this, I want that, because I saw that they had that, and now I have to have it. And it's like, I don't know. It gave me a different perspective being there, because it's not like that. Everyone is very like, this is who I am, and I'm enough, and like, you're accepted for it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to do better here.
Yeah.
It's like, you only can do so much with, some of the people that I have on are like, I'm not even the same person.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, no, I would love to have you on my real podcast.
Yeah. That would be
fun.
That would be fun. Stop yelling.
Because there's no limitations there. You can talk about whatever you want. Next question. Ooh, say something flirty in another language. Look, this is perfect. I'm so glad that I landed on that for you.
Yay. Okay. Well, I have heard and have given this compliment. Tienes más bonito ojos.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what that means.
Yes, I know what that means.
That clicked in your brain.
Yeah.
That's very good. That means there's a neural pathway in there that.
I know a little bit of Spanish.
There you go.
I can understand it more than I can speak it.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
If
Another
anybody
one
wanted to know what she said I had really pretty eyes.
Yeah, she has beautiful eyes. I'm a sucker for colored eyes, just so you know. Another thing that comes to mind is tú haces cardio, which means do you do cardio? And what that means, well, when I found this out, it was a man that said this to me.
Okay.
And he was very cute. And, there was definitely a conversation happening. And when he asked me that, I was like, Do I do cardio? Yeah. I mean, I don't really like running. Like, I am more of like a Pilates girl.
Yeah.
Like, I lift weights here and there,
Yeah.
but like I'm pretty low maintenance when it comes to working out.
Low impact.
Low impact. Low impact, exactly. And then he was kind of chuckling and like whatever, and I was like, yeah, and then we just kept talking about something else. But then when I asked my friend who is native from Spain, I was like, yeah, he asked me if I did cardio, and she was like, you know what that means, right? And I'm like, no. And she said, he's asking you if you like to fuck. And I was like, oh.
Oh my God. You're like, okay, yeah, that's very high impact. That's a
was like,
different situation.
okay. And she was like, yeah, cardio in Spain means like, do you want to fuck? And I was like, oh. Well, I basically told him like my workout routine. And then she started laughing.
Okay, so next time we go over to Madrid, we know that that does not mean working out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Had you have known that, how would that have shifted the conversation with this beautiful man? Like, would you have been down if it, obviously, stranger
I was
danger,
down, but he playboy, total playboy, this man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, clearly, he really knew what he was doing with that.
Yeah.
Because he saw you as an American, and he's like, I got you.
Yeah.
We're gonna
He
test
saw
this
that,
out.
and he shoot his shot, and I feel like if I knew that that's what he meant, I probably would have welcomed the experience, but I just think like towards the end, I mean, he didn't even live in Madrid. He lived in Zaragoza, which is near Barcelona, so it was kind of far.
Okay.
But he was like, well, I visit Madrid all the time and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, bet, come over here. And he like never came through.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like he was kind of scared. I feel like he talked a big talk, but he could not walk his walk. He couldn't take his cardio to me, so.
Oh. Well, if I was a man, you would intimidate me.
Really?
Yeah. Because you seem like you
Oh
carry
my
yourself
gosh.
well. And I don't know how you were walking around over in Madrid.
We met in Barcelona.
Okay, yeah, still. That's like, isn't
And,
that the city of love? Barcelona? Or what is the city of love? Paris is. Duh. But what is
Paris.
Barcelona known for? Similar, right?
Barcelona is known for, this is a bad joke, pickpocketing. I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke. I hope some
of our viewers better have nice
It was a joke,
humor.
but do take it seriously because
Yeah.
you don't want to get your phone stolen.
Okay. I hear that a lot about Italy too, like wearing those like pickpocket belts.
I did. I had like a rope, that like rope thing that you get, that you connect your phone to.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I was prepared. But my friend got her phone stolen.
Dude, like why? Why are people so mean?
It's just like such an inconvenient. It's so funny because over here we have guns and violence, and then they have pickpocketing, which is so annoying. But it's also like so inconvenient. Like getting your phone stolen is such a pain in the ass.
Oh, especially in another country.
Yeah,
What are you supposed to do?
How are you gonna call anyone?
Do they still have the telephone boxes?
No.
Yes, yeah, you're fucked.
You're
Yeah,
fucked.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
And I keep I should not be saying this because please do not come for me, but I keep my ID in the back of my phone. Only my ID, not my credit cards. But if my ID with my phone gets stolen, then I'm completely fucked because I ain't coming back.
Yeah, I have a theory with like your wallet and your phone. So abroad, I'm kind of superstitious. So I had this great idea to keep an evil eye in my wallet, like a glass evil eye. Never got my wallet stolen or my phone. I even dropped my wallet in the metro train station, like in the train track.
Oh.
And I still got it back.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a bad day, horrible day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I got it back.
Oh, that's good.
So I feel like the evil eye
works for us, not
Yes,
against us
exactly.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have my mental notepad in my
Yeah,
brain
so
right
evil
now.
eye and
Evil
then
eye,
the
rope.
anti-theft rope.
Okay. All right. And cardio.
And cardio. Yep.
Okay. And not Paula. Miss Paula. No, what was the thing?
Oh, comeme la polla.
Polla. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
pollo. Pollo's chicken.
Isn't it funny how it's like similar but different?
Yeah.
You know, like we love chicken and we kind of like that too sometimes.
Yes. All right. Final spin.
Ooh, what are we gonna get?
Okay. Oh! Look at that. That was sent to me. That was sent to me.
Is this one me to you or you to me?
Dealer's choice. It could be. We could both answer it. It's the last question. But dealer's choice is you, technically. So you have to think of the question.
Okay.
It could be anything.
Anything?
Anything. But
Anything?
you have to answer it too.
Okay.
Well, I guess you don't have to, but if you feel inclined to.
I do want to ask you, I don't want to throw the whole like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't want to do that, but like, where do you see yourself retiring? Because I had this realization abroad and I just want to see like, where, like, if you had any, like no limitations, you already did everything in your life that you've ever wanted to do. You had everything that you could have ever asked for. Where would you retire? And what does that look like?
I'll start with what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had enough travel experience outside of the US for me to really pinpoint. I have like my dream bucket list destinations, but what it looks like for me is I want a lot of land. I want somewhere like
acres.
Little House on the Prairie kind of style. Like house, I can make as much noise, have parties, have my family over, you know, without having to worry about anything outside. I do like warm weather, but not dry. This is my perfect scenario. Warm weather, but not dry, but I don't want it super tropic either.
Okay.
I'm like, if anything makes sense to you.
No, it makes sense because I feel like I'm picturing in my mind, and then when you added the weather, I was like, Mexico, and then you were like, no tropical though, so I was like, okay, like California maybe, or like even
Northern California is something. I love Northern Arizona, but if we're thinking like outside of the US, like I would love to experience like the Greece and Italy lifestyle.
like countryside.
Yes,
100%.
but I need to be at least like 30 minutes from a city also, because I do need my little city life too.
Yeah.
But when I'm retired, I'm gonna be old. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I'm planning on being like the people that are still walking up and down everywhere, you know, when I'm old too. But
Yeah.
I want my family around, and I want peace and quiet. At that point, if I've done everything, I just want to enjoy my house, enjoy my life around me, my quietness, throw parties, have everybody over.
Do you want animals? Like if you have a lot of land, you could have like a little animal farm.
I would, but someone else needs to take care of them.
Okay.
Help me take care of them.
Take care of the
somebody
animals.
that takes care of the yard too. Yeah.
Okay.
I will do it all myself, but I need the help. It can't just be me. I don't plan on dying alone anyway. Either way.
You probably won't.
I don't plan on it. But yeah, just like, I don't know. My family childhood my family home growing up was very like that. Very open land.
Really?
We had like apple and peach trees in the back. We had the goats, the horses, the
Love
cats.
that.
The tire swing on the tree, like literally by big bonfire pit. Like that is bliss to me.
Yeah.
Like where I can just walk outside my house naked, not worry about anyone staring at me. My house is covered with trees. Like, yeah. I can hear all the birds
That
at
sounds like a
night.
dream.
That is a dream.
Yeah. Oh, I love that for you. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
I know.
Yeah, you're gonna get that.
I can't wait for it to be there either. I can wait, but
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have one final question for you
Yes.
as well. This is the Game Changer. We have a reoccurring theme here.
Okay.
Similar to life, we're going to go kind of backwards though for you, although we don't like to live in the past, but our past experiences do shape us into who we are today. So has there been anything that you can pinpoint for us, any experience or moment that has shifted your perspective other than living in Madrid, or Spain, I should say?
That has shifted my perspective
On life, or how
On
you carry
life.
yourself as a person, as Isabella.
Honestly, I think what comes to mind is this career that we have. I think it's a game changer because not only, I think we are stigmatized, but what people don't understand is that this is a creative lifestyle that we are creating for ourselves. And I think a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their heads around that because they kind of pinpoint it as like this is what you do. This is what you're like, when in reality, like, we have so many facets to each other. And I truly think it's very important, and this is what I've learned, not only just like being abroad, but just like starting in this career field that I'm in now, is that this career offers me the life that I want to live rather than trying to form my life into a career.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I agree with that though.
Yeah.
Too. I feel like a lot of people have their standard of what this looks like.
Yeah.
And it is so much more than that.
It's vast. It's like you can do so much with it. And yeah, I mean, life is what we create, and I think a lot of people need to like take a step back and think, how is this giving me the life that I want for myself, instead of taking it the opposite way and being like, what can I do to like shape myself into like a career? I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
how does my career choice help my life instead of like my life help my career choice?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
And to touch on that point really quick, I feel like, we get shifted into following a certain path, just
Yes.
being raised and who we are surrounded by and
Yes.
this, that, the other, to where we get to a certain age where we're like, okay, well, wait, who am I? What am I doing with myself? Like,
Do you even like
do I
this?
even like what I'm doing? Yeah,
exactly.
Whereas this does give that full freedom to tap into exactly who you are, because that's what draws people to you.
Exactly.
That's why you have
Authenticity.
your fan base, and that's why you are IsabellaLengua. Like, people follow
Yeah.
you and shift towards you because of who you are, and it allows you to be completely in that creative space.
Absolutely.
Without outside sources trying to tell you what to do. Yeah.
Love that.
Love that. Well, it
Yay.
was so nice having
Thank you so much.
on.
I had a blast.
Yes, this was like one of my favorite conversations, and
I felt so comfortable. I feel like we're just in a room. We're just two human beings having
Yeah.
a conversation.
yeah, and you guys are watching, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you.
Bye.